Hello, I hope you had a wonderful day. My name is Yvonne Ijuna and welcome to New Vision TV. Now, tomorrow, the 4th day of December 2019, President Yoweri Museveni will lead the walk that is codenamed Anti-Corruption Walk, and the walk is aimed at intensifying the fight against corruption. It will start from Constitutional Square to Kololo, and a number of people are expected to participate in this walk. Now, the police has released several routings and a few traffic guidelines. Now, the routing, the main route for the walk will be Uganda Road, that's Constitutional Square, Square 1 Road, Lumumba Avenue, High Court Road, roundabout, that's to Speak Road, then around the Standard Chartered roundabout, Nile Avenue, UBC roundabout, Nakumat, Garden City roundabout, Ginger Road traffic lights, Ginger Road, Wampeo roundabout, then to Wampeo Avenue up to Kololo ceremonial grounds. The traffic guidelines are as follows. Traffic along Kampala Road will be restricted from Bombo Road at Chagwe Road and Lugogo Bypass. VIPs with stickers will park inside High Court and Grand Imperial parking and will access through Kampala Road. The participants will be dropped off at City Square along Kampala Road, and the vehicles will park at the designated parking areas, which include City High School, UMI, Forest Mall Lugogo, and Hotel Africana. Motorists heading to the city center from Wandegea will be diverted at Nakasero Road, Lumumba Avenue, that's around the French Embassy, George Street to Chagwe Road. There will be restricted access to Nile Avenue, hence traffic will be diverted at Pilkington Road, Umeme, Speak Resort at Post Office, Saidi Barrier at Parliamentary Avenue, and at Shimon Road at Absa Bank. Traffic to the city center via Acacia Avenue will be diverted at Fairway traffic lights to Wandegea. Traffic along Useful Road towards Ginger Road traffic lights and Garden City roundabout will be diverted from Mulago roundabout to Wandegea. Motorists heading to Ginger will be diverted at Nasa, Nkrumah, and Entebbe Road Junction to Clock Tower, Mukwano Road to connect to industrial area. Traffic to the city center via Mukwano Road will be diverted to Clock Tower. Traffic to the city center along Ginger Road will be diverted to industrial area at 4th Street, 3rd Street, 1st Street, and access the city center via the 6th and the 7th Streets to connect to Clock Tower. There will be restricted access to Kololo ceremonial grounds at Lower Kololo Terrace, Upper Kololo Terrace, Elgon Terrace, Philip Drive, Prince Charles Drive, Impala Avenue, and Upper Kololo, that's the Wampeo Avenue traffic lights. The motorists from the eastern routes will be diverted at Nambole, Northern Bypass, Chinawataka Road, Spear Motors, Nakawa traffic lights, and Lugogo Bypass to take different directions depending on where they are heading to. The participants are advised to leave behind their personal cars, and all motorcycles are not allowed to go beyond the cut-off points. Participants will be allowed to access both venues after going through the security checkpoints. Now, the general public is expected to comply to traffic guidelines to avoid inconveniences. Moving on, the General Court Martial has ruled that the four men who were implicated in the murder of the mobile money operators in Zana have a case to answer. On Tuesday, Lieutenant General Andrew Guti said the prosecution led by Major Raphael Mugisha had established a prima facie case against the suspects, requiring them to defend themselves. Mugisha was assisted by Captain Ambrose Baguma. The accused, Stanley Mulunda, Bob Anichan, Dennis Mungusho, and Isan Tale, are charged over murdering Harriet Nalwada, 33, and Maureen Nakabubi, and robbing them of 6 million Ugandan shillings. Upon Guti's ruling, Colonel Richard Tukachungura, the judge, advocates asked the suspects to tell court if they are willing to defend themselves. However, three of the accused, that is Mulunda, Mungusho and Tale, said they will remain silent during their defense. Meanwhile, Anichan told court that he will present 3 witnesses for his defense. Through his lawyer, Major Commander Silas Mtunji, Anichan said he has to defend himself on grounds that on the alleged fateful day that Nalwada and Nakabumbi were killed, he was in Zombo district. And this story was compiled by Douglas Mubiru. Crossing over to Jinja, the Indian High Commissioner to Uganda, Sri Ravi Shankar, has hailed Indians of the Sikhi Sagat community in Uganda for sticking to the cultural norms and beliefs in their Sikhism religion. Officiating the 550th birthday anniversary of Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji, the founder of the Sikhism religion, Shankar hailed followers for upholding to the principles of Guru. According to the High Commissioner, Guru taught lessons of peace, brotherhood, and caring for one another, which he said they had maintained as believers. The Sikhi have lived up to the norms and beliefs of teachings and delivering sermons by contributing in a very selfless manner to the Ugandan society for years. Those were Sankar's words. The event took place in Jinja town on Sunday, and it was held under the theme Learning from Life and the Legacy of Guru Nanak Dev Ji. This story was compiled by Jackie Nambuga. Over to Teso sub-region, the Electoral Commission has warned and cautioned the voters there to stop giving bribes to local leaders for giving them documents that they require to verify their national, their registration for the National Voters Register. This was during the launch of the sensitization campaign of the general update of the National Voters Register in Toro region in preparation for the 2020-2021 general elections. Uganda Project Implementation and Management Center, a consultancy firm accredited by the Electoral Commission to sensitize the voters, launched the campaign in Teso sub-region in Soroti Public Gardens on Monday. Peter Wataka, the regional coordinator of the Management Center, noted that there is a tendency of people giving local council chairpersons money whenever they go for any letter they need to use. He warned the local council chairpersons or the Gombolora internal security officers not to be given any money by the voters for writing or stamping for them on their letters that they require for the voter register updates, because the Electoral Commission services are free of charge. This story was compiled by Emmanuel Olumu. Now, 9 people have been arrested in Magamaga Town Council in Mayuge district in connection with the alleged killing of a UPDF soldier. This was revealed on Monday afternoon by Captain George Msinguzi, the UPDF spokesperson, Jinja Zone, while in a press conference in Jinja. According to Captain Msinguzi, out of the 9 people arrested are said to have reportedly connived and murdered Lance Corporal Joel Cherutuk, a 35-year-old soldier attached to a field engineering brigade at Magamaga Cantonment Barracks in Mayuge district on Saturday night. He said the deceased's body was recovered by residents at around 6:30 a.m. on Sunday morning with its right arm chopped off. Residents immediately informed authorities at the barracks following recovering the body. This story was compiled by Donald Kiria and Charles Okalebo. Now, in Kagadi, a strange disease has killed 3 people and residents there are living in fear. Magazi Kumarirwa, the 45, the father of the deceased, said the 3 children who were identified as Goreti Kwichiriza, 16, Nicholas Ajuna, 14, and Constantine Amanya of 7 years died in separate days with the first daughter, Kwichiriza, who died on 23rd of November, and Ajuna died on 25th, and the last child died on 30th last month. He disclosed that his daughter, Great Kwichiriza, developed simple headache and then died a few hours after being taken to Pachwa Private Clinic, while the second child, Nicholas Ajuna, died on Monday with similar signs at Kagadi Hospital, and then the latest victim, Constantine Amanya, died on Sunday, still with similar symptoms. This story was compiled by Andrew Musinguzi. That's what we had from around Uganda, but we still have news from around the world. The Namibian newly elected president, Hugh Hedge Gaigombe, vowed on Monday to step up the fight against corruption scandals coupled with a recession-fueled population discontent against the ruling party. Gaigombe's Southwest Africa People's Party has been in power since Namibia's independence from South Africa in 1990 and is widely hailed for its role in the liberation struggle. However, Gaigombe's re-election in last week's vote was clouded by a 3-year recession, high unemployment and drought, as well as WikiLeaks reports exposing alleged corruption in the fishing industry involving 2 ex-ministers. Over to Libya, at least 5 civilians were killed and 10 wounded in an overnight air strikes in a suburb of Libya's capital, the Unity Government Health Minister said on Monday. The spokesperson, Amin al-Hashim Shami, reported major damage after the strikes on Al-Swani, some 25 kilometers south of central Tripoli. He said there was no military infrastructure in the area. Tripoli has since months of deadly fighting since Eastern-based military strongman Khalif Haftar launched an April offensive to seize the capital from armed groups backing the internationally recognized Government of National Accord. We shall go for a short break and we'll return with news in business and some sports. Welcome back from that break. Lynn Komjisha has some news in business for us.
In business tonight, the Mbara Deputy RDC Emi Katera wants Parliament to come up with stringent punishments for people convicted of corruption. Katera says the current light punishments have made the fight against corruption in the country almost impossible. The RDC said this during a stakeholders engagement organized by the IGG's office at Oxford Hotel in Mbarara. In his remarks, Fred Okech, the Southern Western Regional Inspectorate, discloses that in most cases, corruption whistleblowers in the region do so for selfish reasons like jobs or failed sharing of the loot. Okech also cites increasing cases of finance officers in the local government falsifying documents as they try to allegedly avail cows' funds, mainly for fuel. A lack of information in market prices is affecting smallholder farmers, according to an expert. The information on prices of crops does not reach the smallholder farmers, and the farmers are exploited by the middlemen who give them uncompetitive prices. The National Director of Share and Opportunity, Florence Subi, advised the government to adequately facilitate extension service workers, fuel and allowances so that they can sensitize smallholder farmers. She noted that there's need for smallholder farmers to have better service delivery and be able to access markets for quality products.
Thank you so much, Lynn Komjisha. Now, President Yoweri Museveni, the Vice President Edward Sekandi, the Speaker of Parliament Rebecca Kadaga, the Chief Justice Bat Katurebe are some of the top leaders that will grace tomorrow's anti-corruption walk that will start from the City Square to Kololo Independence Grounds. The anti-corruption agencies have teamed up with religious leaders, security agencies, civil society organizations, and other players in a new move to try and tackle corruption. We see the journey of President Museveni's fight against corruption.
Less than 2 months to starting his 35th year in power, President Yoweri Museveni is leading the public on an unprecedented anti-corruption march from Constitutional Square to Kololo Independence Grounds. New Vision TV looks at the highlights of his struggle against corruption over the decades. The interim parliament that started business in Kampala in 1986 had started scrutinizing public expenditures and accounts. The Inspectorate of Government was set up to fight corruption and human rights abuse. The first head was Augustine Ruzindana, whose deputy was Waswalule. With time, President Museveni appointed ministers of ethics and integrity. Holders of the office have so far included Miriam Matembe, Tim Rwanga, Nsaba Buturo, and Simon Lokodo. By the close of the 1980s decade, it was clear that government was losing a lot of revenue and that the Uganda Revenue Authority was mooted and the inefficient revenue collection departments were disbanded. The first URA Commissioner General was Labi Siao, an expatriate from Ghana. The Auditor General was also strengthened. But in the 1990s, corruption started running out of control. The privatization process was greatly abused as parastatals were stripped of their assets and sold for a song. Following the enactment of the 1995 Constitution, Uganda's 6th Parliament was voted into office in 1996. It took the anti-corruption fight seriously and even censured 2 ministers accused of abusing office, Jim Mwezi of Primary Education and Sam Kutesa of Planning. 2 others cut and ran when plans to censure them started, Matthew Chikide for privatization and Chirunda Chivejinja. President Museveni also instituted several commissions of inquiry that unearthed massive corruption. 2 were led by Justice Julius Sebutinde, one in the police and the other in the URA. One by Justice Porter was into the army's intervention in the Congo. However, it came too late to save Uganda being found guilty of its soldiers plundering DRC wealth, causing a fine of $10 billion against the country. More recently, President Museveni has backed up these institutions by creating the State House Anti-Corruption Unit. The first one was headed by former Teachers Union boss James Tweheo, and the second by Lieutenant Colonel Edith Nakalema. This Wednesday, the President is raising the profile of the struggle by leading an unprecedented march against corruption.
We are hoping that you will take note of the traffic updates that we gave you earlier and you will join the walk against corruption. Now in our sports, StarTimes Uganda Premier League champions KCCA FC has thrashed relegation survivors Prolin FC with a 4-0 at StarTimes Stadium in Lugogo. Goals for KCCA FC were scored by Senyonjo Kasozi and Alan Okello, netted twice. Both teams were playing one of their scheduled matches when they were in the CAF Confederation. A win to the Kasasiro boys means they have ended the first round of the StarTimes Uganda Premier League in the 2nd position on the log with 32 points, just 5 points behind table leaders Vipers FC, while a loss to Proline FC meant that they have remained on the bottom of the league table in the 16th position on the log with only 9 points. These and more stories on our social media platforms, Facebook and Twitter, but also on our website. That's New Vision, www.newvision.co.ug/videos. My name is Yvonne Junal. Have a good night.